Matiz, but DasDuelon barely got that bullet around the corner of that ore refinery, so I wouldn't call that a huge mistake. It's just a good play by DasDuelon. Now, as this is happening, we've now got an MCV and 5 tanks, 5 hammer tanks in their secondary. This is clearly a set defense that DasDuelon likes to use. A wall with a defender VX behind it. The Terror Drone is going to die. The bear is going to die to the collector. It looks like DasDuelon has a single jet Tengu that he's going to use to kill any. I thought he might use that to kill any Terror Drones that might come by. And now we're going to see a bit of a rumble. Basically, this is big, heavy Soviet, big time heavy Soviet ground game, mechanical units going up against the smallest, and the smallest tier 2 tank is the Tsunami tank. And that MCV's in big trouble. The bear roars. And it looks like DasDuelon is really only concerned with running over the bears. It looks like he's just trying to protect the tank busters. And it looks like Matiz has successfully penetrated the base, but the Mecha Bay continues to crank out more Tsunami tanks. Those tank busters, there's 5 tanks. The tanks still have quite a bit of health. So this is going to be a bit of a problem, and Matiz continues to crank out nothing but tanks and bears. So no anti-air from Matiz, nothing but tanks. I don't think Matiz has a single bullfrog. Matiz has no anti-air whatsoever, and those Terror Drones are going to. It looks like DasDuelon is going to clearly survive this onslaught, and this heroic tank buster is just going to eat up. Oh, nice roar there by Matiz. So this was a good attack by Matiz. I mean, but he lost his MCV during this attack. DasDuelon lost about 20% of his health, or 30% of his health to his MCV. But DasDuelon, I mean, he moves on. His Mecha Bay is still cranking out units. He still has an instant dojo. DasDuelon can still crank out another expansion if he likes. He's got another defender going up, and it looks like Matiz is going to go after DasDuelon's economy again with these 2 Terror Drones. He won't be able to go into the main base. It's not going to do any good. He's going to have to go after the water expansion, and let's see if he does a better job. But at this point, Matiz is without an MCV, and he has 2 unit producing structures, a barracks and a war factory, and I'm almost positive DasDuelon is 100% aware of that reality. And this time, very nice by Matiz. Matiz is basically going to end the life of that $1,400 prospector by spending $1,200 in the name of basically 2 Terror Drones. 2 Terror Drones are going to die for this. Yeah, here come the tanks. So basically, that is a good exchange by Matiz, but not an amazing. Nice exchange by Matiz, but not, it's not like he just won the game there. And DasDuelon has once again put up more walls. DasDuelon has a 4th ore refinery. So, you know what? Matiz was very aggressive in the beginning. It looked pretty frightening, and it looked very threatening to DasDuelon, I guess, to a person that maybe is not an expert at Empire versus Soviet games. It looked pretty dangerous to me. But it also now, to me, looks like DasDuelon has the clear advantage. Matiz is really going to have to run him over. DasDuelon's got 4 Tsunami tanks. 2, 4, we got 5. And these Terror Drones are going to be nightmares to deal with because they're going to lock down on all kinds of stuff. But really, DasDuelon has a clear economic advantage at this point. And DasDuelon also seems to be in no hurry whatsoever to close down on or harm Matiz's economy. He knows there's no more MCV. DasDuelon knows there's no more MCV. So with that being the case, he knows he can out-economy Matiz at this point. And as far as secondary or top secret protocol powers, Matiz doesn't have any because he does not have an MCV. DasDuelon does. DasDuelon is using these defensive drones. And we're seeing DasDuelon head right into Matiz's base. I think, wow, if this barracks goes down, yes, the barracks goes down. That's a big, big victory there for DasDuelon. Matiz is now down to a single unit producing structure, a war factory. So that was a huge, huge change in the game. And let's see, and these, wow, okay. Really nice moves by, very good moves by Matiz, bad moves by DasDuelon. DasDuelon got burned. Matiz definitely did a lot of damage there, and many of the hammer tanks owned by Matiz have a second weapon on them. So this might be Matiz's opportunity to take advantage and press forward. Let's see. DasDuelon is vulnerable now, and he continues to crank out more tsunami tanks. And I think that although although he has 7 hammer tanks, and it looks bad for DasDuelon, he's continuing to crank out more and more tsunami tanks, and he also has a Defender VX along with the wall. I think DasDuelon is in control of this game. So I think this has been very well played by both players. But DasDuelon is definitely a notch above. So again, I don't see DasDuelon can put up a wall whenever he wants to. He's got lots of tanks. He's got tank busters. He's constantly cranking out infantry. Now he's using Emperor's Rage. And I just don't see, you know what, I think this game is in DasDuelon's pocket right now. I just don't see anything that Matiz does. Unless DasDuelon makes some kind of a mistake, I think he's got this game. And really, I never would have guessed it. In the beginning of this game, I would have thought, you know, I thought Matiz was doing a great job. I thought all of the moves he made were excellent, and, you know, has me fooled. It goes to show you I know not much about Empire versus Soviet matchups. So again, I'm always afraid of these terror drones. And again, with all this infantry, as long as DasDuelon is really good at microing the infantry and his tanks, he should be fine. And again, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 tanks. Yeah, so it's good. So DasDuelon looks like he's in total control. So here we go. And I don't see, does Matiz have any anti-air? It looks like he has no anti-air whatsoever. 2, 4, 6, 8. He's got about 12, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. He's got 14 tanks and no anti-air whatsoever. And DasDuelon's response to that is more walls. Now the question is, has DasDuelon scouted his lack of anti-air? And he's, oh, there we go. Look out. 2 chopper VXs. Boom, boom, baby. Yeah, this is, I don't see any bullfrogs. GG, no re. It's 1 game to nothing for DasDuelon. You know, you watch a game like this, and I'll tell you, I can see why people get frustrated and say Empire is overpowered. Because this was like, to me, this looked like a textbook victory for DasDuelon. It looked like a textbook victory for him, and the funny thing is, there's nobody else on the planet that can do what DasDuelon can do with Empire. So DasDuelon makes this faction look overpowered, and no one else does. And it's 1 game to nothing for DasDuelon in the semifinals. Game 2 will be a map of Matiz's choice. Very well played by Matiz. Matiz, to me, looks like a really good Soviet player. I can't see any flaws in his game, but DasDuelon takes a 1-0 lead anyhow. Thanks a lot, guys, and I think you'll see me in game number 2.